lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails, Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week 68 of the Philippine House Build. But before we get into that, a TPF update. So this past Friday, again, it's 9 weeks after surgery. I'm still trying to walk. I'm pushing it as hard as I can. And I guess the doctors really know what they're talking about. When they say 10 weeks, it's probably really 10 weeks before that bone is healed. So basically, last week I said that I couldn't push up 114 pounds. Again, I'm 160 pounds. And this week, when I got to my week 9, I was able to push 141 pounds, still just shy of my 160 pounds. So I've got about 20 more pounds to go before I can actually push my weight forward and start walking. So I am on the crutches again this week. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do another tinfoil hat to retirement because, again, there is something that has to get you to maybe decide to go someplace else, to another foreign country. And again, it doesn't have to be the Philippines, but just someplace where you and your money are treated well. So here you go. Here is tinfoil hat to retirement.
Tinfoil hat on my head, crackling tunes, whispers of a world spun by pale moons. 86, 47 in the watchtower glow, truth in the numbers, the rest just show. Student loans like anchors in the sea, banks playing roulette, losses ain't free. Cyber shadows creeping, they stalk and sway, blackouts dancing rhythm tonight to day. They raise the bushes while the gold bars flee, they jump through like a plastic tree. Dead people knocking at the beats of fear, cutting your sharp like a short spear. Cause maxed out dreams start to sway, unrealized losses in a silent ballet. Hacking prices up, the air feels thin, the games they play, where do we begin?
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start in the master bedroom. Not too much has changed. Really, I found out that they actually switched a couple of the items. The wood that is in here for the TV console was actually supposed to be in the living room, and then they had a gray backboard that was supposed to go here in the bedroom. However, they thought that it would be better for the wood to go in here and that the gray would be better for the living room. However, they ran out of paneling, and they sort of did the paneling, I don't know, they got this idea, like if you look at the top above the door, they went ahead and they're going to put paneling all the way across the wall. Really, they don't need to do that. They should have just stopped, where the wall was before the door, and then on the left-hand side, continue the paneling there. But I think they only had enough paneling for the wall that was in the living room, so they're going to have to try and find more paneling to do the side on the left, and in that corner there is going to be more shelving. And since the Philippines had an election, Bob Wood hasn't been out here because we need to tell them that we only wanted the wood paneling. The wood paneling doesn't need to go above the door. So hopefully they can fix that. And I think they even took down the trim that was going around and took it off so they can put the paneling up. So I want the wood trim to continue above the door, and then the wood paneling stop before the door. Otherwise, what they'll probably end up doing is, if they can find more paneling, probably continue their original thought, which was to go above the door and then to the left. However, personally, I would take that above the door down and then take the wood that's going around the top, the outline of the wood, continue that above the door. And I think that will probably look better. All right, so that's just one thing that we noticed last week. And then also, just to change the comment around that, it is going to be different between this bedroom and the living room TV consoles. All right, so we'll go ahead and take a look out here. Look here. Just electrical outlets that are there. And that's where the wall was previously before. So no changes in the elevation or any groundwork out there. Let's see what our view is out the window here. So if we look outside the window, should be able to see the road and any houses above the concrete wall, which is fine. And then we'll walk to our walk-in closet. Again, I don't think there's any difference in there as well. So let's go in here. So wall closets look the same. So Flora's side, and then my side. And let's see if they did anything with the vanity. It looks like they've added a drawer right there for the vanity. And then let's double check the bathroom. All right, so everything's tiled. Still need to get the window people out here because I think this bathroom is the only other bathroom that doesn't have windows. And then of course we need glass sliding door for the lanai, and then some windows up there. So we got a window there, sinks, and let me scoot back. All right, and the cabinet. And I didn't get to really say what I wanted to say last week because I think the sun was coming in and hitting the camera. I would have been happier probably if that cabinet right there wouldn't have been as wide. And let's say what they could have done was just made a smaller cabinet to fit the width right here of the wall. Put the cabinet in right here against that corner and then have it face this way. And then we could have separated the sinks a little bit more. Like even Flora thought maybe we should have the sink further down this way. But that cabinet or that cabinetry is causing the two sinks to be next to one another. And the scenario is okay. I mean, if Flora and I are needing to wash and we're sort of in a hurry of whatever we're doing, then she has her sink, I have my sink. But I think it probably would have been better to have the sinks a little bit further apart and make that cabinet a little smaller, and then to fit the width of that corner and then facing this way. I think that would have been better. All right, so I do have the door and the light switches in. And again, when the glass people come out, this will be glass there. All right, let's continue on down this way and we'll check out the other bedrooms, and I think they might. So let's see what we have. All right. All right. Let's see what we have. So, and that there is the stove that's going to be put into the um, dirty kitchen area. So that's what that stove looks like, but it's just sitting back here right now in the cabinetry. It looks like they did add some doors above the cabinets there. And let's go around this way. They got any further with the structure that will house our water tanks and water filtration system. And what do we have out here? Okay, doesn't look like they've did too much there. Looks about the same. All right, and we'll take a look in the bathroom here again. I know there's been some discussion. I know that we discussed last week too about the toilet, if the door is going to hit the toilet or not. They said this bathroom, it might clear it, but the other guest bedroom, they might not be able to clear. All right. So did they finish putting the doors? So we'll take a look at this cabinetry. I'm just going to scoot back here and see if I can get a good look of the cabinetry. All right, so we do have some doors there and above, so that looks nice. And then again, like I said, the only question I had was whether or not the toilet, this door will clear the toilet. If this door cannot clear this toilet, then we're going to have to figure out a way to put this door on the outside and have the door open up this way. All right, so yep, that's the only thing that that I'm wondering about, is if we'll have enough room to clear the toilets in the 2 guest bedrooms. All right, and we'll take a look at the lanai again. I do believe that nothing's changed for the lanai. Looks the same. Let's take a look here. All right. And I don't think I've ever mentioned the cabinetry on this side. So when you look at the cabinetry on this side, this is where the refrigerator is going to go. And that little space there is for a water dispenser, and we can put like that in that area. And they got the cupboards on, and it looks like they also have the range hood put on now. So the cabinets looks like the cabinets are all in for the island. Let's see. I don't think anything is finished as far as some self-closing drawers. So let's go over here to the range hood area, see if they put the stovetop in. So of course, again, here's the oven, and let's see here. They put in. All right, so they did put in the stovetop there above the oven. Which door? Oh, okay, so that door there. And then what do we got here? Oh, they put racks on each side of the oven. All right. That's pretty nifty. So we got everything up there. And not much else for the TV console, but like I said, it's I think the TV console is I think this board right here, this white board, I think the other side of that or something like that is what's going to be put on the backboard of that, but I don't know for sure. Like I said, they told me it was a sort of a gray background. And they've got light switches up. And let's go back around this way, see if there's any changes in the second kitchen or the maid quarters area. All right, so looks like they did add the granite to the sink there. So there's that granite just placed on top there. And then in the laundry room, nothing has changed in here. And they added some doors there, and I think they started the tiling in the bathroom there. So that's getting done. And the last room to check and double check on is the CR. I think last week when we looked at the CR, they didn't have a ceiling. So let's see if they put in a ceiling. All right, so here is the CR. That is the guest bathroom when people come over. And so see, if you look above there, there is the ceiling up there with a vent. So that is good. So now we just need to tile the bottom floor, put in the sink and the toilet, and then this one will be done. So that is good. All right. So thank you for joining Arizona Trails, the Philippine Tales for week 68 of the Philippine house build. And we will see you next week for those new changes that take place. You have a great day. Bye-bye.